Well, there are big questions about the health of the consumer and the health of retail businesses. They may be two different stories here, but there's a broader question about small businesses in particular. President Obama says they're a key to an economic turnaround. Wal-Mart's Sam's Club division has begun what it calls the first of its kind program, facilitating loans for shoppers backed by the Small Business Administration. What does this mean? Is this the first of many moves? Well, Janney Montgomery's David Strasser is with us here to talk about this trend. So, David, I mean, Sam's Club deals with small businesses. It's sort of the direct line to that portion of Walmart's consumer base. Is this something we're going to see other retailers have to do as well?
I mean, I think they're all going to try and do stuff like this. I mean, there's a precedent that Walmart has set, whether it was with healthcare and doing a lot of different things to help, whether it's consumer, help try and push through healthcare, bring down healthcare costs. A $4 generic jumps to mind. What they're doing with Sam's is it's a very logical way to try and drive business. I think somebody said doing well by doing good. And, you know, you get the double benefit of all of that. You know, and I think that, you know, Walmart as, you know, basically the retail leader in this country probably benefits from this and feels the need to do it.
Now, you know, Walmart has long wanted to get into the banking business. They aren't directly making these loans, they're facilitating them. But it seems like it gets to that broader concept right now of corporate stimulus.
Absolutely. I think there's no doubt about it. I mean, it is corporate stimulus. I mean, Walmart, you know, I bet over the last few years they're pretty happy they didn't get into the banking business. At the same time, the government's probably wishing they would let them get into the business. I mean, that could have helped, you know, especially through the downturn. You know, they also do things like lending money using their balance sheet to help their smaller vendors, you know, deliver product when it's necessary. So they're helping the smaller vendors using their balance sheet. So it's leveraging what they have, their resources, to make their business better, give a competitive advantage, and the benefit is it should be some stuff that helps the economy.
Now, we're expecting chain store sales figures this week. I mean, tell me what you're expecting here, because on one hand, the consumer's still looking for a job. The other, there's a lot of cash on stores' balance sheets. So, I mean, what's the bottom line for consumer discretionary?
Well, I think two different things, right? The balance sheets of the retailers are in really good shape. That's great. There's opportunities to buy back stock. There's some real value opportunities probably in retail as a result. The flip side of that is I don't think the numbers are going to be too good tomorrow. We're looking generally at the lower end of where guidance has come across from either from the companies or, you know, where the consensus has come. We're generally at or below those type of numbers. But we're actually also very worried about, you know, the back half of the year. You had talked about the Citigroup, you know, cutting numbers this week. We had done that about 2 weeks ago.
I remember.
And, you know, I think I was here that day. And, you know, there are a lot of valid concerns, whether it's housing, whether it's unemployment, and there's just a whole list of them. You know, this government seeming to want to take back stimulus, or at least not push forward a lot of stimulus as you watch what happened with unemployment benefits not being extended. So there's a lot of risks.
So how much of a head fake is it, though, considering that these are the summer months? We won't really know until back to school season. At the same time, I mean, short of a store giving someone a job, can they actually do to give confidence to consumers to spend? It's
really hard to do. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, everybody's been searching, you know, for years. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, more than 10 years. And every time it seemed just when everyone would write off the consumer, that consumer desire to spend would be there. We haven't seen that really happen. I mean, there's credit constraints, there's employment constraints, there's fear, and it feels like this is going to take some time to work its way through. I mean, we have to get a lot of excess out of the market, and, you know, the stimulus helped near term, but going forward, that's harder to see as well. So you're right. I mean, going back to the original premise here is it's some of the companies are really going to need to do that. Maybe it's, you know, maybe the overordering of inventory will help by bringing pricing down. I mean, they're not great. But
if that wasn't an overorder, I guess we will see somewhat tomorrow with chain store sales.
Yes,
Thank you, David, for coming in once again.